Welcome to Dateline with Ollie Williams.
Let me put you on.
Hi, I'm Ollie Williams, and I'd like to welcome you to today's airing of Dateline. Today we'll be covering the recent updates in the field of AIDS. Seems like in today's day and age, everyone has AIDS. AIDS.
Everyone has AIDS! My grandma and my dog go blue. AIDS. The Pope has got it and so do you. Come on everybody, we got quilting to do. We're gonna break down these barricades. Everyone has AIDS.
First we'll be going over the medical details behind HIV and AIDS. We held an interview with Dr. Kent Wallace, an AIDS expert, to tell us about the medical details on HIV and AIDS. Hi, Dr. Wallace, and thank you for being on Dateline.
Pleasure to be here, Ollie.
So first off, what can you tell us about HIV?
Well, HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Infection with HIV occurs by the transfer of blood, semen, vaginal fluid, pre-ejaculate, or breast milk. The four major routes of transmission are unprotected sexual intercourse, contaminated needles, breast milk, and transmission from an infected mother to her baby at birth.
Wow, I was unaware. Is HIV dangerous in any way?
Actually, no, it isn't. Most people show no symptoms, and that is why it is important to get tested. The only real danger of HIV is that for 9 out of 10 people, HIV will turn into AIDS within 10 to 15 years.
Okay, so what about AIDS? What does AIDS do to the body?
When an individual acquires AIDS, their immune system slowly begins to shut down. This allows other viruses and diseases to harm the body. You don't actually die from AIDS, but rather from the body's inability to fight off disease contracted when you have AIDS.
Can you tell us about AIDS past as a disease?
When AIDS was first discovered, people thought it could only be contracted by gays and that it was a gay disease. It is even originally referred to as GRID, or gay-related immunodeficiency. But now, we know that's not true. Everyone can get AIDS.
Wow! My ignorance is unending. So, can you tell us what group had the most cases of AIDS? And how about the group that has the most cases of AIDS now?
The majority of people with AIDS in the United States in the 1990s were either homosexuals or intravenous drug users. Now, more heterosexuals and intravenous drug users have AIDS than homosexuals.
Why the big shift?
Well, in the late 1980s and 1990s, there was a boom of people who used heroin or other drugs requiring needles, and now the disease has spread to heterosexuals, and they outnumber the homosexuals. So they pass it on more, and their numbers have greatly grown.
After finding out that most people with AIDS are not gay, but rather heterosexual or intravenous drug users, we decided to send out our correspondent, Chad Broxton, onto the scene at a heroin den.
Okay, this is Chad Broxton. I'm going to the heroin den right now. There it is. There's one of the fiends. He's passed out on heroin. Wow, what's that guy doing over there? Oh man, looks like he's shooting up. Weirdo.
After Chad broke into the heroin den, we had him set up an interview with one of the junkies there.
So, when'd you start using heroin?
I don't know, when I was like 16 or 17. Been a fiend ever since.
When did you acquire AIDS?
Please, I've been had that since I was like 18.
When you started doing drugs, did you know the risks of getting AIDS?
Hell no, I thought that was for queers, man.
So, after watching our special on AIDS, I'm sure you're wondering, what are my chances of a person becoming infected with AIDS? Well, here's AIDS by the numbers. When having unprotected sex with a girl with the HIV virus, the average straight male who is a teenager has about a 1 in 2,000 chance of becoming infected. Not great odds, but you should still always use protection. When having unprotected sex with a boy who's infected with HIV, the average female has about a 1 in 1,000 chance, which is a little bit higher than males. Before needles were checked as thoroughly as they are today, there was a 9 in 10 chance of getting HIV if you went through a blood transfusion where the blood had not been checked for HIV. And today, while using intravenous drugs, you have about a 67 in 10,000 chance of getting HIV. Thank you for watching our report on AIDS today on Dateline. This has been Ollie Williams.
Everyone has AIDS. And so this is the end of our story. And everyone is dead from AIDS. It took from me my best friend, my only true pal, my only bright star. He died of AIDS. Well, I'm gonna march on Washington, lead the fight and charge the brigades. There's a hero inside of all of us. I'll make them see everyone has AIDS. My father, AIDS. My sister, AIDS. My uncle and my cousin and her best friend, AIDS. The gays and the straights and the whites and the spades. Everyone has AIDS.
Laughing, just like.
Okay. Come on, seriously. Seriously, I want to do this. Stop. Alright, ready?
When did you find out you acquired AIDS?
Okay, let's go. That's